Dr. David Starkey is one of Britain's most distinguished constitutional historians. He has spent his career studying the monarchy, writing about the Tudors, and advising on royal matters. And he also holds the institution to account. He is not a tabloid commentator. He is not part of the Royal Rota. He is also not one of the rent-a-gob commentators. He is definitely not a Sussex supporter. He is a serious scholar with a CBE awarded to him for services to history. And this is what he said about the late Queen Elizabeth. And this is important because sometimes when we hear about things happening right now to Andrew, to the other brother, to the king, blah, 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 we need to know where it's all coming from. Now, this is what Dr. David Starkey says about the late Queen Elizabeth. He believes that she mishandled the monarchy spectacularly. She, more than anybody else, is responsible for the fundamental issue at the heart of the Andrew crisis. So he's speaking out the quiet part. Now, this is a respected constitutional historian, and he is saying publicly that the Queen herself created the conditions that made Prince Andrew so dangerous. Unbelievable. So basically, this guy is not even blaming Andrew per se, not really blaming his brother, King Charles, not even blaming the media, but he's blaming the Queen herself. And his argument is actually devastating. So he points to a very specific moment. And that moment was 1963. In the UK at the time, Harold Macmillan was resigning as Prime Minister. The Queen has to choose a successor because that's her job. She is a constitutional monarch. Then the royal prerogative was in action. This is what the monarch is supposed to do. So she chose somebody called Alec Douglas Home over Rab Butler. And then, according to David Starkey, she pulls back in terror because that decision, her choice, attracted criticism and people were questioning her judgment. And from that moment on, Queen Elizabeth literally retreated. She abandoned what had been, up to that point, a very active royal role as final political mediator. So because of all that backlash, she pulled back and she stopped exercising the prerogative. She stopped being the constitutional heart of the system. She then became ceremonial, decorative, a symbol without function. This is what David Starkey believes. And if it is true, this is grave indeed. And here is Dr. Starkey's crucial question. If the monarchy is not a parliamentary monarchy, if it is not at the center and the heart of and the justification of our political process, what exactly is it? Because if it's no longer playing that political function, and if it's not doing the job that it was designed to do, what exactly is it? Now, according to Dr. Starkey, he thinks that the Queen's answer was to make the monarchy about family, about continuity, about tradition and pageantry, and Christmas broadcasts and waving from the balcony. Yes, remember the balcony that they keep threatening Harry and Meghan with. She turned the Windsors into a kind of national soap opera, a reality show before the name reality show existed. And for decades it worked because people loved the Queen and people loved the babies and the weddings and the jubilees. They loved the corgis and the handbags and the stoic silence. Queen Elizabeth therefore became the brand, and then the brand became everything because she became synonymous with the monarchy. When you thought about royalty, you thought of the Queen. It was automatic, and that was over decades and decades and decades. But now Dr. Starkey is pointing to what that cost, what that has cost the monarchy as well as the British public. Because when you hollow out the constitutional function of the monarchy, when you remove its purpose in the political process, you leave it with nothing but the image. That is why optics really matters to the family now. That is why Harry and Meghan must not be seen to be doing anything remotely royal, because it would make people think if they can do it without getting paid, without getting security, without getting this, is that, the other, what are the other people there for? So when you hollow out the political function of the monarchy, all you have left is the image, all you have left is a reputation, and all you have left is the personal conduct of the members of the family themselves. And this is why Prince Andrew is very dangerous right now, because if the monarchy still has a visible constitutional function, the Andrew scandal would have been a scandal, but it wouldn't be a threat, right? It wouldn't be the massive threat to the monarchy that it is now, because the institution would have still carried on its political function, right? But unfortunately, all that was stripped away, and all you have is the family and their conduct and their image. So she made the monarchy dependent on public affection. This is why those polls matter. This is why those emotional support polls that they keep doing every other market day, this is why it matters, because to them, that is their KPI, that is their measure. I did a post, months ago, about these are people that wrote their own job descriptions, they wrote their own person specs, they wrote their own KPIs, and they are still failing to live up to the KPIs. This is why Andrew's scandal is very dangerous to the monarchy right now. So when it turns out that one of them is now friends with a prolific sex offender, that he may even have committed crimes himself, that he was protected for years by the very institution that asked for public trust, there is nothing for them to fall back on. Because even politicians, right, who would have thought, okay, let me go easy on them because maybe one day even they're saying, actually, you are no use to us now, so we can come for you as hard as we can. So unfortunately, we now have a very shattered image and a loss of mystique of the family we were told to admire. But anyway, the conclusion of David Starkey is that the Queen mishandled the monarchy spectacularly. His words, not mine. So yeah, let me have your thoughts in the comments, please. Because like I said, this is going to run and run. My name's Elizabeth. I'm the author of The Luxpreneur. And for more insights like these, please like, share, comment, and follow me. And to support my work in holding truth to power, please get a copy of The Luxpreneur today from Amazon, Waterstones, or Barnes & Noble. Or you can simply buy me a coffee. Yes, you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Elizabeth Solaru.